As of December 2025, X has 51 credits on IMDb, with the oldest being from 1912 and the newest being 2025. X has exactly one trivia mentioned on IMDb, and if all things go well, X's IMDb credits will also increase by one in 2026 and by one in 2027. Who is X? Welcome to Are You Quizzing Me? This is episode number 125. Cue the music.
Welcome to Are You Quizzing Me? I am Vineet Nair with my co-host Aditya Kashyap. This is a quizzing trivia podcast show. Join us as we dive deep into history, science, pop culture, and so much more. Let's get quizzing.
I hope everyone enjoyed the audience question. I hope I made it cryptic enough that it'll leave us, at least most of you, puzzling until the end of today's episode. But it also kind of leads me to segue on to the theme of today's episode. Yes, this is a themed episode. We will be doing a Bollywood themed episode. It was a suggestion of two of the listeners of the podcast who I met the other week. So we decided, why not? It's fun. We'll do a Bollywood podcast show. So this is an exclusively Bollywood-related quiz show for today. Aditya, how are you feeling? This is more of your industry than mine, and I know practically next to nothing when it comes to Bollywood.
I don't think there is any field in the world that you know next to nothing of. Having done 124 episodes with you, you know a little bit of everything, which is impressive. But yes, I am feeling good. I have been just a fan or a student or even a child of cinema, if I may, for as long as I can remember. Mm-hmm. I remember our school exam would be going on and I would still want to sneak into the living room. If, say, my mom or my dad were watching a film and instead of studying in my own bedroom, I'd want to sneak into the living room and slyly from there'll be a little gallery into the living room. I'd be just standing there and watching the film. I got caught a few times as well doing that. So I think Bollywood has just, and cinema in general has just been a big part of my life. I was excited to do this because people from episode 111, when we spoke about the beginning of Are You Quizzing Me, I mentioned the first ever question that you asked me before we even started the quiz was a Bollywood trivia. So if you don't know what that trivia is, which is a really good piece of trivia, go check out episode 111. Listen to the whole episode, but it's at the end of it if you want to skip ahead. So, should I start, Vineet? Should I get us going?
Yes. Get the ball rolling.
Always good to start with checking where you are at in terms of knowledge for this question. I assume you have heard of the name Barry John.
He is a drama teacher from Delhi, if I'm not mistaken.
Now based in Mumbai. I think based in Mumbai for a while now. He had a Barry John Acting Institute and now it's called Free Birds Collective. His ads show up a lot for me, I guess, because I'm in the acting space.
I can safely say it never has for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. It is a very targeted ad for people like me. People who roam around a certain Aram Nagar Versova radius, I guess. Barry John, yes, you're right, has gained a lot of fame as being an eminent acting coach, acting teacher in the last few decades. He was quite the stalwart in theatre and especially in Delhi back in the day, which is where I believe Shah Rukh Khan,
yes,
one of the biggest Bollywood actors ever, studied under him. So that is quite the feather in his cap. So Barry John started a theatre action group in 1973.
Oh, it's a long time ago.
I'm going to mention a few people who were part of this group, who were part of the founding group. So eventually there were other actors, like I mentioned, Shah Rukh Khan and others. But part of the founding group in 1973, there was Roshan Seth, Lilith Dubey, Meera Nair, Manohar Singh, Pamela Rooks, Surekha Sikri, Pankaj Kapoor.
Heavyweights.
This is quite the who's who of Bollywood and who's who of acting talent, actually. Mm-hmm. There's one more person in this, X, and that's why I wanted to start with this question. So, amongst the founding members, I mentioned a bunch of them. Roshan Seth, Lilith Dubey, Meera Nair, Manohar Singh, Pamela Rooks, Surekha Sikri, Pankaj Kapoor, others. These are all part of the founding group of Theatre Action Group, which was Barry John's first foray into theatre.
Okay.
X was also part of this group. However, over the years, X has gained fame in not particularly the acting field, but an acting adjacent space, or let's just say entertainment space, right?
Okay.
Let me give you a little background about him. He was born in Kolkata.
Okay.
He attended school in Bombay and in Delhi, Frank Anthony Public School in Delhi, and then completed his schooling in Kendriya Vidyalaya, IIT Madras.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, he went to college in Delhi, St. Stephen's College. And that's where he met Barry John and all of these other people and became part of the founding group.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this person that I talk about, who you and I both are in a way connected to?
I have two people in mind. I'm just trying to decide which among the two I want to go for.
Oh, I like it. Man is about to crack this question wide open. I love it.
So just give me those names again.
He was born in Kolkata, back then Calcutta, and then his childhood was spent moving between Mumbai, Delhi, Madras, Chennai.
Mm-hmm.
And then went to college, to Delhi St. Stephen's College, where he met this gang of actors and they started the Theatre Action Group in 1973.
I have two people in mind, like I said, but because you said theatre more than anything else, I'm going to go with one. And if not, I know it's the other one. Okay?
Go for it.
Is this Siddharth Basu?
Ooh, so good, so good. Did you already know that he did theatre? Because that to me was completely fresh news.
Okay, so I'm going to drop some trivia.
Do it, lay it on us.
The profile that you mentioned vaguely kind of fits two people.
Okay.
In the kind of cities and the timeline and St. Stephen's.
Okay.
Both of them have a connection to this podcast. Both of them have a connection to us.
Okay.
But both of them have an unexpected deviation, which I don't think many of our people know about. So the first person, like I mentioned, was Siddharth Basu.
Mm-hmm.
Famed quizzer, quizmaster, the man behind Mastermind India, which frankly is still the gold standard of quiz shows in India.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Iconic line from the I've started, so I'll finish. If you've never seen Mastermind India, please go see it. It's one of the best quiz shows ever. He was also the brain behind KBC, Kaun Banega Crorepati and what. Siddharth Basu was in St. Stephen's, and I know for a fact that he was more into drama rather than quizzing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the second person I was on my short list was also related to Kolkata. He also, I don't remember if he was born in Kolkata, but he did live in Kolkata for many years. He was in Mumbai for some time. He's traveled all around India. He's also a very erudite person. And he was responsible for founding the first quiz club in India at St. Stephen's in 73 or 74.
Oh, around the same time. Okay. Who's this?
And he was, if I'm not mistaken, Siddharth Basu's junior at St. Stephen's.
Uh-huh.
So my question to you, Aditya, is same profile, the man who established the very first quizzing club in India. Like every other quiz club that came after was an offshoot of this. Who was the person who was number 2 on my list, who founded the very first quiz club in India?
I mean, quizzing, and because you said some Bengal connection as well, I'm going to say Derek O'Brien.
Oh, it's not Derek O'Brien. It's not somebody you would think of as a quizzer. Though I wouldn't be surprised because he is extremely knowledgeable, voracious writer.
No, I need some other hint then, if not a quizzing connection.
He's going to feature later on in today's episode, so I'm kind of in two minds as to whether I should tell you the answer or you should guess by the end of the episode who this person was.
I like it. It's a double audience question episode because now we have another question that we can ruminate over.
Yes, you can ruminate over this on the second question because I am a big fan of this person and his work.
Okay.
Listeners, please stay to the end to know who exactly it was who founded the very first quiz club in India at St. Stephen's in the 70s. So, Aditya, you can now expound about Siddharth Basu and the theatre club of Barry John. You
very neatly, with a bow on top, and a lovely additional question that I get to now rack my head over. I have kind of answered the question rather well. But yes, you were right because it was Siddharth Basu. I had no idea that he had this. I knew he had dabbled in acting, but he was part of Barry John's founding members and with these other people. Like, I thought that was something I should have known and I didn't. That was an interesting piece of trivia for me.
Yes.
He has come back to acting, I think, in his later years as well. One-off occurrences here and there. He was known as Babu among his peers, and he acted in numerous stage plays. He did the titular role of Oedipus in Ted Hughes' adaptation of Seneca's play. He played Polonius in Hamlet and Mozart in Amadeus. So some very, very famous works of art, some very famous plays that he acted in, and pretty much played very essential roles in all of them.
Okay.
He was very much into the entertainment space. And for people, like you said, who don't know, Siddharth Basu is as synonymous with quizzing in India as Are You Quizzing Me is. No,
Oh, God.
he's a lot more. Maybe us in another 20 years. Interestingly enough, I also found out that because he started the inaugural quiz time program on Doordarshan, which was like the OG quizzing show, I found out the people featured on this were also some amazing intellectuals of the later years. Rajdeep Sardesai, the journalist.
Oh.
It had Raghuram Rajan, the economist, on it as well.
Wow.
Jayant Sinha, who was a former politician and was a member of parliament in Lok Sabha. So yeah, some very interesting famous people also came onto his show back in the day in Doordarshan. And of course, Mastermind. Oh my God, that spotlight, the chair, and then the questions especially when they chose a particular topic. And I remember when my dad would watch it, most of the topics I had no idea about. But if it was something like I remember there was a Harry Potter, somebody chose a Harry Potter, and my dad was like, okay, come, you should try to answer it. And I think I got like 2 out of those 10 questions.
I remember the only ever specialist category that I was able to crack, I think around 15 to 16 out of the 20 something questions that was asked, was on dinosaurs, because that was a period when I was like completely obsessed with dinosaurs. And then that one episode came out and I was like, oh, I know something. I can answer something in this.
Nice, yeah.
It was a fantastic show.
And he always came across as just this, oh God, how can you be this smart kind of a guy?
Okay, so let's move on. And mine is a little more hardcore Bollywood trivia. I do not expect you to know this off the bat, but because for those who don't know, listening to this podcast, Aditya is in the entertainment space. He is very acting and movie adjacent, having some acting credits to his own name. So you may know this, you may not know this, because this was news to me, but let's go with it anyway. This individual, let's call him X, played Dushasana in the Mahabharat play in the climax of the movie Jaane Bhi Do Yaro. That was the only time they appeared. I have 2 amazing clues I want to give it, but his smile tells me he already knows who this is.
No, go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to give the clues because for those watching the podcast, you can see that he's got a grin on his face. He definitely knows who this is. So my first clue was going to be that he is Ramanand Sagar's half-brother, albeit 35 years younger than him.
That I didn't know. That's insane.
Aha!
Now I'm wondering if I know the right person.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Give me the other clue.
The second clue was that his wife is the sister of Vikram Chandra, who wrote Sacred Games, who's the author of Sacred Games.
Okay. Ramanand Sagar's half-brother, but 35 years younger.
Yes. Okay, so now that we have that, you can now justify your grin and tell me the answer.
Well, now my grin seems entirely unearned because I'm very flummoxed. Another reason I was grinning was because the scene played in my head, and I remember that being a very funny scene.
Okay.
I had a feeling this was Bindu Vinod Chopra, but maybe then he played some other character.
No, you're right. It is Vidhu Vinod Chopra.
Vidhu Vinod Chopra is Ramanand Sagar's half-brother?
Haha!
Oh, wow.
Okay, so at least I was able to surprise you a little bit.
Yeah.
For all those who are listening, who are not like hardcore movie fans like Aditya, you may all know Vidhu Vinod Chopra. In the climax of Jaane Bhi Do Yaro, director Kundan Shah stages a theatrical retelling of the Mahabharata, a symbolic and satirical act that brings towards the film's central themes of corruption, truth, and justice. The play is performed by the film's protagonist and supporting cast, turning the epic into a darkly comic commentary. Vidhu Vinod Chopra, now a renowned filmmaker, played the role of Dushasana in this climactic sequence. For those who don't know, Dushasana is the infamous antagonist in the Mahabharata, known for his cruelty and his role in the attempted disrobing of Draupadi. Chopra's casting as Dushasana was not planned as a major acting role. Rather, it was a last-minute improvisation driven by necessity. At the time, he was working as the production controller for Jaane Bhi Do Yaro, responsible for managing the film's very limited budget. When the actor originally cast as Dushasana demanded more money than the producers could afford, Chopra stepped in to play the role himself. The decision was not just about saving costs, it reflected the collaborative spirit that defined the film's production. Moving on to the fact that kind of shocked Aditya, Ramanand Sagar's father, Lala Dinanath Chopra, married Shanti Devi Chopra after the death of his wife, and Vidhu Vinod Chopra is the son of Lala Dinanath and Shanti Devi Chopra.
Wow.
Making him Ramanand Sagar's half-brother. The age gap between them is approximately 35 years, with Ramanand Sagar being born in 1917 and Vidhu Vinod Chopra in 1952.
That's insane. This is just absolutely mind-blowing.
Now, Vidhu Vinod Chopra is currently married to famous film critic Anupama Chopra. She is the sister of Vikram Chandra.
Yes.
He was one of my favorite Indian authors. I was on the Vikram Chandra train way before Sacred Games became a show. And he also co-wrote Mission Kashmir, which is directed by Vidhu Vinod Chopra.
Right.
It's his only screenwriting credit.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Mission Kashmir was a decent film.
Very good soundtrack.
Phenomenal soundtrack.
There's this perception that Vidhu Vinod Chopra, if he produces a movie, it'll be a big hit. But if he directs it, it'll be a flop that will be appreciated later.
Oh man, that's just sad.
The exception to the rule, I think, might be 12th Fail, which was appreciated and was a hit at the same time. He was also one of the producers of Three Idiots, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. He's a producer for Three Idiots. He's a producer for Lage Raho Munna Bhai MBBS. For 1942 A Love Story was not a hit. I mean, I remember the soundtrack being gorgeous.
No, but did he direct it?
Yes, he directed it as well.
Oh, okay.
Khamosh is, again, but yeah, I think all of these films are very critically acclaimed. I don't know if they were hits on the box office, because Khamosh, Parinda, 1942 A Love Story are considered pretty great films.
And banging soundtracks for most of them.
12th Fail I watched and I loved it. Shikara I heard very good things about. I haven't seen it. He directed that as well.
Okay.
And because we're just talking about it, I'm just going to quickly just say the star cast of Jaane Bhi Do Yaro, because it is one of those films that I love and I don't think I've ever recommended before. It has Nasruddin Shah, it has Ravi Baswani, maybe not the most recognizable of names, but if you see the face, you'll know who I'm talking about. It has Om Puri, it has Pankaj Kapoor. So Nasruddin Shah and Pankaj Kapoor, I didn't know the brother-in-laws had appeared in a film together. So Pankaj Kapoor, Satish Shah, Rajesh Puri, Satish Kaushik, Neena Gupta, with Vinod Chopra and that cameo, Anupam Kher having a voiceover. Just what is this star cast like? What is this insane star cast?
Yeah.
Well, since we are talking of people connected, perfect segue time, I am going to give you a list of people and you have to tell me what they're connected by.
Oh, this is going to be tough.
Number 1 is Sheikh Mukhtar. Number 2 is Ashok Kumar. Number 3 is Hrithik Roshan. Number 4 is Dilip Kumar. Number 5, Kabir Bedi. And number 6, Akshaye Khanna.
Wow, that's a very diverse list.
Right?
Ashok Kumar, Akshaye Khanna and Hrithik Roshan.
Kabir Bedi also perhaps a name most people don't recognize.
Is this an exhaustive list?
Always good to clarify that in list questions, that this is not an exhaustive list in two ways. At each ranking, there can be more, and it could be more than 6 as well.
Oh, okay, so this is a ranking, so that order is important.
Let's say at each number, I won't call a rank is perhaps the wrong word. At each number, there could be more than one name. There is actually for a lot of them more than one names. I've only given you one name right now.
Okay. Give me the names once again.
So at number 1, I gave you Sheikh Mukhtar. At number 2, I give you Ashok Kumar. Number 3, I give you Hrithik Roshan. Number 4, I give you Dilip Kumar. Number 5, I give you Kabir Bedi. And number 6, I give you Akshaye Khanna.
Wow. I'm trying to imagine what Akshaye Khanna and Hrithik Roshan have in common. The only thing that I can remember is I think Hrithik Roshan was the first choice for Dil Chahta Hai instead of Amar Khan, but then that doesn't...
Let me just clarify this again. These are obviously all actors, all Bollywood actors, Hindi film actors.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all related to films they have done. So it isn't something that they were considered for or they rejected or anything like that. These are all in the list based off films that they have done.
Their highest grossing films were films where they played the antagonist in some fashion? Like Hrithik in Dhoom 2, Akshay in Durandar.
Hrithik, I doubt Dhoom 2 is his highest grossing film till date. I'm pretty sure War and stuff must be higher than that.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Okay.
I had to dig a little to get the information for this question to be full, and that will be made more clear when you figure out the answer. But as a hint, I'm going to give you some of the years, okay? I'm going to give you Akshaye Khanna, the year associated, or the film, let's just say the film is in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
For Ashok Kumar, again, the name might seem familiar, perhaps maybe not a lot of movies that you've seen of his. Ashok Kumar's film is from 1945. Kabir Bedi's film is from 2005. Sheikh Mukhtar's film is from 1944. So two of these films are pre-independence.
Okay.
Sheikh Mukhtar, if I'm not wrong, from whatever little I read, actually was part of the Pakistan film industry after partition. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. And Hrithik Roshan?
I haven't given you Hrithik and I haven't given you Dilip Kumar yet.
Is this like industry hits?
No. What do you mean by industry hits?
As in highest grossing.
Of the year.
Because you said Dilip Kumar, I was thinking of Mughal-e-Azam.
So I'll give you the years one more time, and this time I'll give you the full numbers for real years for the entire list. 1944, Sheikh Mukhtar, number 1. 1945 is a film by Ashok Kumar at number 2. 2008 is a Hrithik Roshan film at number 3. 1960 is a Dilip Kumar film at number 4. Kabir Bedi's 2005 film at number 5. Akshaye Khanna's 2025 film at number 6.
Dude, I'm stumped. I'm absolutely stumped. You'd have to give me something more substantial.
So, for my next hint, what I told you that each of these numbers, which are the order matters, each of these numbers might have more than one names. A lot of them do have more than one names, right? So for number 3, which was Hrithik Roshan 2008, I'm going to give you another year, which is 1960. 1960.
Okay.
I don't know how good your short-term memory is, but there was another movie which was...
Wait. These are actors who played Mughal emperors.
All right.
So Babur, Humayun, Akbar, and Akshaye Khanna played Aurangzeb in Chhawa, which frankly the guy disappeared in that role. I don't remember him as acting in that role. It was just Aurangzeb. Oh, okay, nice. Okay.
So I gave you the 6 prominent Mughal rulers. Of course, there have been Mughal rulers after that also in India. And I gave it the first 6 who were the most prominent ones. And the movies have been made about all of them. But interestingly enough, like Babur and Humayun's movies, which are pre-independence, I don't think there has been any big movie since then. So I had to literally go and search for any movie made on Babur. So, okay, you're right. And I think you figured it out because I said at number 3, which is Hrithik Roshan, also had another actor playing it in 1960, which would be Mughal-e-Azam as well, Prithviraj Kapoor.
Mughal-e-Azam, yeah.
In Mughal-e-Azam, where Dilip Kumar played Jahangir or Prince Salim.
Yeah.
So, very quickly, just so you know which films I was referring to with this list, at least. Like I said, it's not an exhaustive list. So, for the first one, it was Shahenshah Babur, which was a 1944 film. The actor who played it, I think he eventually moved to Pakistan and was part of the Pakistani film industry. The next one was Humayun. It was just called Humayun, which is a 1945 film. And apparently, it was a pretty big film for Ashok Kumar. Like Ashok Kumar, one of those names that you perhaps recognize as an actor of the yesteryears. This was a big film for him in his very early career, so kind of established him as a leading man. The other ones perhaps are a little bit more familiar. Akbar, you already got it, Hrithik Roshan.
Jodha Akbar, okay.
Jodha Akbar in 2008. Jahangir, Prince Salim, Dilip Kumar in 1960. Shah Jahan, which is Kabir Bedi in 2005. I was surprised I didn't have more films about Shah Jahan. But at least this one came up on the list, which was Taj Mahal, An Eternal Love Story. It was a 2005 Bollywood film. Kabir Bedi played him. And Aurangzeb, like you very correctly identified, Akshaye Khanna 2025.
Nice.
Okay.
That was a great question. And since you went back to the 1940s, so will I. Ram Rajya is a 1943 film directed by Vijay Bhatt with Prem Adib and Shobhana Samarth in the lead roles of Ram and Sita. Aside from being the very first Indian movie to premiere in the US, what is this movie's other claim to fame?
1943, some sort of a pioneering thing or something it did for the first time.
Not pioneering.
Okay.
It has a very Indian claim to fame. There is a foreign movie which can also claim this.
Okay.
And I'll give you the name of the foreign movie if that helps.
Oh, yes, please.
So that movie was called Mission to Moscow.
No, didn't help.
Also 1943.
Mission to Moscow, 1943.
That is the only foreign film to have this distinction. And it's also the first to have this distinction. Technically, Ram Rajya is the second, but it's the only Indian film to have this distinction. And by the way, these two form an exhaustive list.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing else on this list.
No.
Then is it some sort of like a technical thing? They were both shot on some sort of a camera film?
No, it's not technical. It's not technical at all.
Not technical, an exhaustive list of two. That is very interesting.
Might I point you to also in the direction that instead of looking at technical or filmmaking per se, you might want to consider that there's an individual associated with this distinction.
So there's somebody associated to both of them, maybe not a film-related person.
Not a film-related person.
Was it like sponsored by the same source again? Why would it be only two films though?
No.
Oh, it's too vague right now. I have no idea.
So I'm going to tell you just one portion of it.
All right.
These are the only two films that one particular person has watched.
Is it the first Kim? No, but that is also too early for him.
No.
Kim, what is it? Kim Il-sung.
You would have to go diametrically opposite.
Gandhi?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I guess. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah.
So he was very anti-technology. The only Indian film, let me clarify, that Mahatma Gandhi has ever watched is Ram Rajya. Very apt. So apparently he was supposed to watch only around 20 minutes or something of the movie, but then he sat and watched the film for almost its entire duration. Let me just break it down for our audience. Ram Rajya is a landmark Hindi film released in 1943, directed by Vijay Bhatt, who was known for his mythological and devotional films. The film starred Prem Adib as Lord Ram and Shobna Samarth as Ma Seeta, bringing the epic of the Ramayana to life on the silver screen. It was produced by Prakash Pictures, founded by the Bhatt family. Shobna Samarth was the grandmother of Kajol and Tanuja Mukherjee. The film was notable for its grand scale, authentic sets, and which resonated deeply with the audiences of the time. It holds two significant records in Indian cinema history. One is that it is the first Indian movie to premiere in the USA. It was released in the United States and helped introduce Indian stories and culture to international audiences. Its second claim to fame is that it's the only Indian film that Mahatma Gandhi ever watched. Known for his lifestyle and deep spiritual values, he was not a regular moviegoer. However, in May 1944, a few weeks after he had watched Mission to Moscow, a special screening of Ram Rajya was arranged for him while he was recovering from an illness at Juhu in Mumbai.
Oh.
Yes, he was so engrossed that he watched the film for over 90 minutes, which far longer than the 40 minutes initially allotted. Okay, he's coming, he doesn't watch movies, but he will stay for around 40 minutes of the movie. But he ended up watching around 90 more minutes of the movie. And after the screening, he was described as being cheerful and appreciative, calling it a good film. This marked the Ram Rajya as the only Indian film that Mahatma Gandhi ever watched.
Apt, I guess, for the kind of person he was. That makes sense, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So this is just because I found out this particular feature on IMDb and I felt like this would make a fun question. You can do movie connections.
Oh.
Where has this movie been referenced or paid homage to? And if this movie has paid homage to things, that is also listed.
Okay.
As we're doing Bollywood film with Bollywood references, okay? So I'm going to give you the references. Tell me which film it is.
Oh.
There is a reference to Ram Aur Shyam, which is 1967. Pyar Kiye Ja, which is 1970. Seeta Aur Geeta, 1972. There is Sholay, 1975. Mr. India, 1987. There is Jeeta Wahi Sikandar, 1992. And there is a Qayamt Se Qayamat Tak as well. So all of these films are referenced in this particular film.
So most of the films that you mentioned have like two protagonists. I have two movies in mind. I'm going to go with what seems to be the more obvious choice. So I'm going to go with Andaz Apna Apna.
Oh God! Oh, that is too good. That is just unfairly good. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Yeah. Fine. You got it too quickly. But I because I don't like leaving my questions without a segue. we were talking about a film from the 40s, and a segue to even a previous episode where we discussed a certain film.
Okay.
Which is not from the 40s, but rather from the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know of the author Bibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay?
Yes, the name does ring a bell.
Okay. Indian novelist and short story writer in the Bengali language.
Yeah.
He is connected to a 1955 film that we have discussed. This is just like to connect it back to a previous episode.
I remember the name. It's in one of my questions. I can't remember which one it was.
It was your question. It was your question.
Oh God, I know this. Okay.
Bengali is as good a clue as anything else.
Pather Panchali. This is he was the author of Pather Panchali.
Exactly. Okay. So he's the one who wrote the original story, and that's what inspired Satyajit Ray to make his seminal classic. All right. Now, this guy was obviously a prolific writer, and that's not the only thing that he's written that has been adapted to in film. There is another film which is very iconic, which was made in 1972 directed by Shakti Samanta. The dialogues from this film, the acting, the actors, all of them like basically have been cemented in fame and stardom.
Okay.
When the director read the story, he was immediately inspired to create a film. The name of the Bengali short story, by the way, is Hinger Kochiri, which basically means hing being asafoetida and kochiri being kachori.
Hing kachori.
Yeah. And the reason I'm asking this question right immediately after that is because this movie, the 1972 movie, also has a connection. I didn't mention this movie. Also has a connection to Andaz Apna.
Oh, dude, that's deep cut. Wait, is it Zanjeer or Diwar? One of the two.
No. I think those are original films.
Yeah.
They do reference the fact that Salim Khan wrote these films, because there is some point where Salman Khan's character says something about Sholay, and somebody asks him, and Amir Khan's character is like, iske baap ne likhi hai, which is literally true. Salim Khan did write it.
Yeah.
And the other reference is both Amir Khan's debut film and Salman Khan's debut film are referenced in a way.
Okay, so Maine Pyar Kiya and Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar.
Qayamt Se Qayamat Tak.
Okay, that was him and Juhi Chawla, yes, yeah.
QSQT. We have done this trivia as well. QSQT.
Yeah.
Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak, I'll give you the reference anyways. It was the song Papa Kehte Hain, and because Amir Khan plays quite the disappointment as a son, Papa Kehte Hain plays ironically in the background.
Yeah.
Do you know what the reference to Maine Pyar Kiya hai?
To be honest, I've never watched Maine Pyar Kiya, so I wouldn't know reference even if it hit me in the face.
Actually, in this case, you might, because it is pretty much a reference to Salman Khan's filmography also in a way.
Prem,
exactly. We've done this trivia question of like actors who have had the name Prem in multiple films. Yeah, Salman Khan obviously has the highest number.
Yeah, Prem.
Salman Khan's character name is Prem. Does that lead you to the 1972 film?
Maine Prem Kiya?
No. This is a very iconic film which starred, and both of them pretty much broke out with this, Rajesh Khanna and Sharmila Tagore.
Oh.
Do you know what Amir Khan's name is in the film?
Amar, yes, Amar.
So it's Amar Prem. They make fun of this also in the film itself, right?
Okay.
They mock the fact that these two filmy boys are called Amar Prem.
Yes.
Amar Prem was one of Rajesh Khanna's biggest films, right? This is directed by Shakti Samanta.
Okay.
The very iconic dialogue, Pushpa, I hate tears, is from Amar Prem.
Oh, okay. Even I've heard of that one, yeah.
It is apparently part of the original story as well. But the way, of course, that Rajesh Khanna delivers it in the most Rajesh Khanna way, and it became emblazoned in Bollywood history, is, kudos to the actor as well. So, Amar Prem, the Rajesh Khanna mega hit of its day, was based off a Bibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay story, also the writer for the story based, which Apu trilogy is based off of. All of this referenced in this stupid
Andaz Apna.
Just a juvenile comedy of I mean, I am the last person who likes toilet humor in a film, but at some point when he gives him those tablets which makes him have loose motions, it is just, I don't know why, but it's just so funny with him running out to the toilet.
I mean, like, some of them are so juvenile, and it's like, school-based humor. It's like, ye Vasco da Gama ka gun hai. Kiski mama ka gun?
Exactly. Like what? Oh God, but I love it.
Yeah.
Andaz apna apna, by the way, here's a anybody who lives in Mumbai, please go order Anda apna apna. Anda apna apna is a place which serves egg-related dishes. And they make some cute Bollywood Andaz apna apna references, in fact.
So
they'll reference Crime Master Go-Go in their dish and stuff. It's quite cute. And good food. So go ahead, try out Anda apna apna.
Okay, nice. So, moving on to very straightforward GK question for you, Aditya. Which Hindi film introduced by Shashi Tharoor became the first Indian Hindi movie to be screened at the United Nations in November 2006, where it received thunderous applause and ended with diplomats raising a toast in its honor?
Shashi Tharoor, hashtag Shashi Tharoor question. I like it.
Yeah.
This is 2006, you said?
Yes.
2006 could be Lage Raho Munna Bhai or could be Rang De Basanti. I'm assuming it's Lage Raho Munna Bhai.
You've got it. Nailed it in one. So it is Lage Raho Munna Bhai. So this was the first Hindi movie to be screened at the United Nations in November of 2006. Took place on 10th of November 2006 in the auditorium. And the event was introduced by Shashi Tharoor, who was then the UN Under Secretary General for Communications and Public Information. The screening was a landmark event for Hindi cinema, marking the first time a full-length Hindi film was showcased at the international organization. The evening began with strict security arrangements, but as the film unfolded, the mood shifted from formal to festive. Diplomats and UN staff responded with thunderous applause at key moments, and after the screening, the atmosphere became celebratory. Diplomats from various countries joined in raising a toast to the film, and the lounge of the UN transformed into a place of joy and camaraderie. The event was widely covered by the media, with critics like Taran Adarsh noting the enthusiastic response and unending applause at the film's conclusion. The impact of the screening extended beyond the event itself. The film's positive message contributed to a renewed interest in Gandhi's teachings and even influenced global policy, with the UN later declaring October the 2nd, Mahatma Gandhi's birthday, as the International Day of Non-Violence in June 2007.
Wow, okay.
So it is Lage Raho Munna Bhai.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, but a picture of Anushka Sharma appears in a hallway in a particular scene in Lage Raho Munna Bhai.
What?
This was 2 years before her first actual film role in Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi.
That's so interesting.
Yes, it's there. A picture of Anushka Sharma appears in a hallway in a scene.
This must have been from her modeling days or something, I guess. That's kind of cool.
Yes, that's nice.
This gives credence to one thing that has always bugged me, because I remember, and again, there is that whole debate of whether Indians should worry so much about whether our films get nominated for Oscars, yada, yada, yada. But in 2006, I think they sent Rang De Basanti as our official selection for Oscar consideration. And it wasn't obviously part of the finalists. And a lot of the critics later were like, oh, we should have sent Lage Raho Munna Bhai because these particular freedom fighters aren't as well known outside, but a Gandhi film would have been received well. And this kind of lends credence to that. But it bothers me because, oh my God, I like Lage Raho Munna Bhai, great film, fun film, love it.
But Oscar material, it is not.
No, forget about Oscar. It's Rang De Basanti. It is, should I say it? Yes, I'm going to say it. It is the 2000s at least best Hindi film. For me, it's the best Hindi film of the 2000s.
Oh.
I'm trying to not exaggerate too much because I would have said best Hindi film I've ever seen. It is, at least it's my favorite Hindi film ever. But because it is, again, I guess you also get emotionally attached to certain films at some point.
I'm just playing the devil's advocate here, so don't shoot the messenger. But are you still going to say that it's the best film of the 2000s when you have Lagan, when you have Swades?
No. No doubt there are incredible films, and we are talking only mainstream Bollywood films. There must have been so many other indie films also, which in fact I've seen some of them, which were, I don't think Udaan is 2000, just randomly it came to my mind, an indie film, which was a low budget film. But yeah, so something around the 2008, 2009, I think Udaan is 2010 maybe. But there were some great films being made, obviously, through the decade. It's just Rang De Basanti. It's a personal choice, yeah. There's no other way to say it. It's just a personal choice, yeah. My favorite film of the 2000s.
Fair enough.
Lage Raho Munna Bhai being well received at the UN does make it seem like we might have had a shot at the Oscar also.
Possible. Okay, hit me.
No segue yet. Segue will show up later in this question, okay?
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of Radio Ceylon?
Radio Ceylon? No, not particularly.
It's a radio station based in Sri Lanka, which was obviously formerly called Ceylon when it was under the British Empire.
Ceylon, yes, yeah.
Interestingly enough, the first radio station in Asia.
Oh.
Yes, and a precursor to it, at least before it got its current name and all of that, was Radio Colombo, I think, at some point. And it started only 3 years after the launch of BBC. And Colombo Radio was the first radio station in Asia and the second oldest radio station in the world.
Wow.
So Radio Ceylon has had a massive history. And they eventually, as these services do, they also had other language services that were offered eventually. So Radio Ceylon had a Hindi service that was launched in early 1950s. Okay, there was a bunch of money that was pumped into it. It became quite the huge hit. And even though not directly hired by Radio Ceylon, the very, very famous Binaka Geet Mala. Are you aware of Binaka Geet Mala?
Geet Mala, yes.
So this is, I think, something that maybe more Hindi speakers would be aware of, because, and I've heard my parents talk about it, that's why I know of it. Binaka is a brand, and they sponsored the Geet Mala being the top list, the top Bollywood song. It was specifically a countdown list, right? So it had been on for since like 1952 all the way till I think 1994, when it was under Vividh Bharati, and that's when it finally stopped.
Yeah.
40 years it was on the air, and it was considered just a pop culture staple. Everybody would listen to it. Everybody would follow it. Amar Prem, from the previous question, a lot of the songs featured on the Geet Mala for like extended runs, right? So it was basically the Billboard Hot 100 of Bollywood song. Now, Radio Ceylon's Hindi service had a bunch of people who were associated with it. I don't recognize a lot of these people, but there's one person in it. Let's call him X. X was associated to Radio Ceylon, a very, very historically prominent radio service, one of the earliest in the world. He was associated to the Hindi service of it. He was very keen on interviewing a certain actress, Y. And finally, after a very long time trying to get an interview with her on the radio service, she finally agreed. And when she came on, the legend goes, or the urban legend, I guess, goes that he was dumbstruck because he was suddenly in front of this woman that he has been mesmerized by, this actress that he's been mesmerized by for so long, that he was dumbstruck by her and he could not conduct the interview. And so they had to scrap the whole thing. The interview never aired. Many years later, their paths crossed again. I'm going to stop here. Tell me, who do you think X is, and then subsequently, who do you think Y is?
Okay, I do have a couple of names in mind, but I'll go with the one that I feel more obvious would be Sunil Dutt and Nargis.
Come on, man. You've been killing at this episode too much. This is ridiculous. Did you know this already?
No, I didn't know this. But when you say that, somebody was dumbstruck by, seeing an actress, honestly, two names come to mind from that era. One is Madhubala and the other is Nargis.
Sure.
Nargis seemed the more obvious option when you said their paths crossed later.
So Sunil Dutt was a host on one of the earliest radio stations in the world. He was hosting a show called Lipton Ki Mehfil. So obviously sponsored by the brand Lipton, and I guess playing songs like a mehfil on Radio Ceylon. And he was eventually brought from the radio to film. And many years later, he would act opposite Nargis.
Save her from a fire very heroically.
But his being enamored with her was actually older, because that only happened in the film is from 1957, but he was working with Radio Ceylon before that. So a few years before that, he had wanted to interview Nargis. Apparently, the legend goes that she agreed to it. She came down for the interview. He was dumbfounded, could not say a single word. And as far as radio goes, that's pretty much the end of the interview if you can't speak. So that meant the radio interview got cancelled, and many years later they crossed paths again and they got married, and that's where they connect to Lage Raho Munna Bhai, because of course Sanjay Dutt, very much the offspring of Sunil Dutt and Nargis.
Yeah, and Sunil Dutt was supposed to have a cameo in Lage Raho Munna Bhai, but he passed away just before like just before the shooting actually started. So bittersweet over there. Okay, that is a very nice question. I have a question which I'm fairly sure you'll get immediately. So I also have a backup question in case you do.
Okay.
Remaking Korean movies has been a long tradition in Bollywood, especially in the 21st century. Old Boy was remade as Zinda. I Saw the Devil was remade as Ek Tha Villain. A Moment to Remember was remade as Sayyara. Which Bollywood movie was a remake of The Man from Nowhere?
Ek Ajnabi?
No.
The Man from Nowhere.
I actually saw this Korean movie much before the Indian remake, and I was a huge fan. And when they said that they were going to remake this movie in Hindi, I was like, no, please don't, especially when I heard who the actor was. But frankly, and again, they didn't do a great job, but at least the climax sequence became quite popular on YouTube, and it was reviewed and reacted to a multiple number of times by many people from around the world because it was particularly brutal.
Isn't this the film where there's that bodyguard who's protecting the young girl? Isn't that the...
That was The Man on Fire, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, right.
That was Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah, that is Ek Ajnabi.
Yeah.
Man from Nowhere. I've definitely heard of this. Which year is Man from Nowhere from?
2010.
I remember it being very critically acclaimed. It has been on my list for a while now, a Korean film that I've been meaning to watch.
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic movie. It's a critically acclaimed Korean revenge thriller starring Won Bin as a mysterious man who rescues a young girl from organ traffickers after her mother is murdered.
Yeah.
The film is known for its gritty action sequences and emotional depth.
Okay. Is this a popular Bollywood film? This doesn't ring a bell at all.
It was a mainstream Bollywood film.
But was it like a popular one? Like, was it a big film of the year or something?
Like I said, it had a life much beyond the film on YouTube because when reaction channels became a thing in the mid-2000s, this movie was it released in 2016, so it was right around that time. So the final action sequence of this was reacted to many times throughout YouTube. It was one of those kind of, when somebody from the US or the UK or from one of the Western countries decides to start a reaction channel, they start with, Bahubali and then this action sequence. And then, now it's RRR. They start with RRR. The movie itself was mixed reviews and it was a box office bomb.
Both a box office bomb and mixed reviews. And if it was in the 2010s, then I doubt I would have seen it.
Okay, so I'll tell you the actor and the director. Nishikant Kamath directed.
Okay.
And his frequent collaborator, John Abraham, was the lead in the movie.
Okay, no, I have no idea. You could give me the answer, or I don't know.
Okay, so I'll probably have to give you the answer at this point. It's Rocky Handsome.
Oh.
Rocky Handsome was a remake of The Man from Nowhere. And frankly speaking, The Man from Nowhere is a far superior film. I would that's my pop culture recommendation for the audience today. Just go watch The Man from Nowhere. It's an amazing Korean flick. And the action, even though they show a lot of brutality in Rocky Handsome, it hits much harder in The Man from Nowhere.
I actually genuinely can't remember if I've seen or not seen Rocky Handsome, so that, I guess, unmemorable or unremarkable in my memory. What I do remember very clearly is the music being very nice. It didn't have a lot of range of variety in its soundtrack. It had these ballad songs, sad songs, but I think I was going through a sad song phase back then and I loved the song. Rocky Handsome was a good soundtrack. And interestingly, John Abrams' second Korean remake then, because he is in Zinda as well. The Old Boy remake, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mentioned I have a backup question. I'm going to quickly ask this. I hope you'll crack it very quickly. If you consider the largest sets ever built in the world, there is Hobbiton for the Lord of the Rings in New Zealand. Ben-Hur, which was constructed over 18 acres. For the movie Intolerance, The Wall of Babylon in 1916, they had a 1,000-foot high set which spanned across 340 acres. In India, the largest set I could find was built over 100 acres of farmland. Which movie?
100 acres is quite a bit. I mean, I know some big sets. The Mohabbatein town comes to mind, but I don't think it's that big.
No, that's not. That must have been Ramoji Film City or something.
Sprawling sets. It makes me think of firstly Bhansali, but I don't think Bhansali has that big a set. He has grand sets in terms of design.
This needed to be 100 acres because it had to have very large areas being shot.
I feel like then it's probably a battle, a period film with a big battle sequence, something.
It's a period film.
So is it Jodha Akbar then?
No, it's not Jodha Akbar. Jodha Akbar was shot on real locations most of the time.
I actually was just going through the trivia. It was shot in Karjat, which is near Mumbai.
Okay. So like Dhurandhar, which also had huge sets built in Thailand, the entire town of Liari is a set. But they built it across 6 acres, not like 100 acres. And similar to Dhurandhar, Dhurandhar's original cut came down to around 8 hours, which they then decided, Aditya Dhar decided that, okay, I'm not going to cut any of it. I'm going to release it as 2 movies. The original cut of this movie was 7.5 hours, but instead of going Aditya Dhar's route, the director here decided to cut down nearly 4 hours and release the movie as a 3.5 hour movie.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, then it's probably Gangs of Wasseypur, but yeah, that is also shot on location as far as I know. And yeah, it isn't very much Anurag Kashyap's style to make big sets, except for Bombay Velvet, which bombed.
Yeah.
Big set, big film, massive runtime, 3.5 hours is still very long.
We've mentioned this movie in today's episode.
And it's not Jodha Akbar. Oh my god. Did we mention Mughal-e-Azam?
No, it's not Mughal-e-Azam. I've mentioned this movie in today's episode.
Yeah, and an episode where we are doing only Bollywood movies, that's not a very useful clue.
Final clue. One of the reasons that the set had to be so big was they had to create a full-size cricket ground.
Lagan was 100 acres?
Yeah, apparently they built that set across 100 acres of farmland. They took them 3-4 months to build. It was a huge crew. Many of the crew stayed on set.
I know this because they were, I think it's in Gujarat, right, that they did this. The earthquake also came around that time. If not, the Bhuj earthquake happened.
Earthquake happened around 3 months after they finished shooting.
Of that rap shooting, I think they helped and they were sending some, so the Lagan, the whole crew and the cast.
They adopted a village.
And I remember this, oh my god, but it was 100 acres. That's insane. Okay.
So I couldn't find any figures or any list which would support that this was the largest, but my research suggests that there has not been any other Hindi film which has made sets across such a huge.
Yeah.
So that's all the time we have for our regular round of quizzing. So we have 2 audience questions to deal with. So the first one was an offshoot of Aditya's first question, where he talked about Siddharth Basu being part of Barry John's theatre troupe. So then I countered that with a trivia as to who was Siddharth Basu's junior at St. Stephen's, who established India's first ever quizzing club. And we deferred the answer because I mentioned that this person would be mentioned during the course of the episode. I think it's fairly obvious who this is. So Aditya, who are we talking about?
Wait, he's already been mentioned? Oh my god. Vidhu Vinod Chopra?
No.
Jesus Christ, what?
Oh, you were smiling when this person was mentioned. So I was like, oh, he's cracked it. He's got that this is the guy.
I thought there was going to be a separate question. I was waiting for the separate question. Oh my god. Okay.
No, it was not a separate question. That's what I said. I deferred the answer.
You played me. Which question was it? My god. My short-term memory sucks. What is the question that you mentioned, Evan?
Lage raho Munna bhai.
Where do you mention Lage raho Munna bhai? Who do you mention?
Dude, you literally took his name. And he was smirking and I was like, this guy has got it. He remembers this. There's no way he's going to.
Wait, Lage raho Munna bhai, which person did you mention? We mentioned Anushka Sharma. I'm guessing that's not the right answer. Shashi Tharoor.
Yes, Shashi Tharoor, the erudite, the Mr. Tharoorosaurus himself.
I can't believe there's a second Shashi Tharoor question in this episode, which had nothing to do with Indian politics, but he has featured twice on this. Really need a Shashi Tharoor supercut.
Shashi Tharoor founded the very first quiz club in India at St. Stephen's in the 1970s. He was a contemporary, or at least a junior, of Siddharth Basu, who's also commonly known as Babu, as you mentioned, in St. Stephen's. The reason I know this is because I don't know if you know this, but Siddharth Basu has a podcast.
Quizzy Talk.
Yes. He's got fascinating interviews with Ramchandra Guha. He's got many other personalities. But I think episode number 6 or something is Shashi Tharoor. And they go a little bit into depth about the same thing, about, their shared experiences and things like that. And I was like, wow. And then you suddenly popped this question and I was like, oh, this is kismet. I know this.
Oh man, that's insane.
Okay. So moving on to the audience question I asked at the beginning of this episode, which I hope I would be very surprised if anybody got this without Googling. As of December 2025, X has 51 credits on IMDb, with the oldest being 90 from 1912 and the newest being 2025. X has exactly one piece of trivia mentioned by an IMDb. And if all things go well, the IMDb credits will also increase by 1 in 2026 and 1 in 2027. So, who's X?
I'm guessing it has to be a writer. Somebody's work has been adapted a few times, which makes me think of Premchand. Premchand, is that the right timeline? No, 1912 is a little early for him.
Oh, no. No. I will even give you this person's original name. Not the name that we know them by, but yes, the original name was Ratnakara.
Ratnakara,
yes.
Ratnakara. Oh, okay.
This person is known for exactly one work.
What? Oh.
And that is also the source of all 51 credits.
Is it a Byomkesh Bakshi?
No. This is too early for Byom. 1912 is too early for Byomkesh Bakshi.
What is in 1912 that has been made so many times?
Let me give you an additional clue. He may even be... So I mentioned that obviously there'd be one in 2026 and then an additional one in 2027. Right? There may be actually one more, but we don't know because we've only seen glimpses of that particular movie so far. So we don't know exactly how much of it would be adapted.
But Ramayana doesn't make sense. Like Ramayana credit being...
Yes. Valmiki has an IMDb page.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. I was thinking it is somebody from the 19... That's why I said Premchand also, from 20th, 19th century. I was thinking, okay, that makes sense. Valmiki has written it and... okay, fair enough.
So Valmiki has an IMDb page, 51 credits as of December 2025. By 2026 and 2027, I was mentioning or at least alluding to...
the Ranbir Kapoor film.
Yes, Ranbir Kapoor and Sai Pallavi and...
Yash and...
the director.
Nitish Tiwari, right?
Nitish Tiwari. But I think it's called Nimish Malhotra's Ramayana because he's the producer and he's spending, God knows, an ungodly amount of money on the movie.
Pun intended.
Yeah. Valmiki, known as Adi Kavi or the first poet of India, is traditionally regarded as the composer of the Sanskrit epic, the Ramayana, which is also often called the Adi Kavya, which is the first poem. Valmiki was born as Ratnakara. And he was according to the scriptures, he was raised by a hunter, and became a bandit before being spiritually transformed by the sage Narada. After years of penance, an anthill, which is Valmika in Sanskrit, grew around him, hence giving his new name Valmiki. So Valmiki has an IMDb page. That's the Bollywood episode. And what are your pop culture recommendations for this week, Aditya?
All right, so I'm going to recommend, just off the top of my head, some movies come to mind. A very dear friend of mine is going to appear in a Hindi film very soon in January. Srushti Taude is going to be in a film which is directed by Veer Das. And it's a Veer Das Amar Khan collaboration, which takes me back to a film that I really like, which is Delhi Belly. So I'm going to recommend Delhi Belly. And hey, because it's my friend and I'm definitely going to go watch it and support her. Go ahead and support her as well. It looks like it's going to be a good film. Happy Patel. So check out the trailer. If you think it's a good trailer, go watch the film as well. So that's the first recommendation. Border 2 is coming out. I saw the trailer as well, which reminds me, I loved Border. Like it was like a staple growing up, like every 15th August or 26th January, it would be playing and my mom would turn it on and I would just sit and watch the whole film. Jab we met, the name of the character is Aditya Kashyap. So, Udta Punjab, I loved that. I'm going to recommend Rajniti. I'm going to recommend Khosla Ka Ghosla. I'm going to recommend a very beautiful film. I don't think I've recommended it in the past. I'm going to say Aankho Dekhi. Aankho Dekhi is a beautiful, beautiful film. Like we were talking about earlier, there have been obviously so many films which are more independent or indie films and not mainstream Bollywood, which kind of go under the radar. Aankho Dekhi was kind of like that. So if you haven't seen it or if you haven't heard of it, now is the time to watch it. And the last thing I want to recommend, which I have stopped using the word, but was under my guilty pleasure for the longest time, Avarapan. You know what? I love that film. I'm not going to be embarrassed about it. It's cheesy. It's very, there's nothing deep or anything to it. But oh my God, it just every time I watch it, I enjoy it. So I'm an Imran Hashmi fan, and anybody who's seen Bads of Bollywood, I really relate to Akka Bollywood ek taraf or apna Imran Hashmi ek taraf.
Imran Hashmi ek taraf.
I relate to that hard. So that. And shout out to my dad because he loves listening to us and he's one of our regular listeners, and his favorite film, Guide. So I loved Guide as well.
Which one? The Hindi or the English version?
Very much the Hindi version, yes. 1965, the Hindi version. It's one of his favorite films. So these are all the films that are Bollywood, and some of them very mainstream, some of them not so much. Check out whichever one catches your fancy.
Okay, nice. Great. I have already recommended The Man from Nowhere. And now, since Aditya has mentioned a lot of these movies, Bollywood movies, I'm just going to do a few off the top of my head. One is the rom-com that wasn't a rom-com, which is one of my favorite movies from Bollywood, is Piku. Because it's technically not a rom-com, but it's more rom-com than most rom-coms I've seen in Bollywood. So I really loved Piku. Sarkar is one of my all-time favorite classics. Finally, just again, moving away a little bit from Bollywood, there is a movie I watched recently, which is 7 years after it came out. It's a movie called Set It Up. It's a rom-com. I was in the mood for something breezy.
Oh, cute.
It's a Glenn Powell, Zoe Deutsch movie. And how do I describe it? It's like The Parent Trap if it was written by LinkedIn lunatics.
Nice. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so go watch that also. I really liked it. And it's a very baby-faced pre-Top Gun, pre-wannabe Tom Cruise Glenn Powell.
Mm-hmm.
And Zoe Deutsch has fantastic chemistry with him. So it's a very nice movie to watch.
Yeah, they're such an adorable couple on screen. I loved it. I think when I saw it on my Netflix and when I first watched it, and it's the only time I watched it, I remember I just was like, you know what, I want to watch these two cute people fall in love. That's why I want to watch this film. And
yeah, that's it. It's not a particularly original story. It's just those two actors make that movie work.
The supporting cast is also great. The two bosses also are pretty decent.
Lucy Liu and Tate X, yes. And Pete Davidson, he's like in a blink and you miss it role, but Pete Davidson, does it as usual. Fantastic movie. So that's all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you all for listening in, and follow us on our socials on Instagram and on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. We also have a subreddit r/Are You Quizzing Me. This particular episode was requested by two listeners of the podcast. And for the rest of our listeners, if you want us to do these kind of theme episodes that you are interested in, reach out to us. Or just go post on Reddit. We're there. We're both there on finally actually participating.
Just in general, go ahead, share trivia. Trivia is just such a beautiful thing. I don't know why. I just sound like a nerd perhaps, but it's just one of the best things to share with people. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
True. I completely agree. And that's all for this episode. Thank you. Reach out to us and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye. बसंती उड़ान हैदर मुन्ना भाई क्वीन वेंसडे अंदाज अपना अपना आनंद